Hi everyone, Neil Donahue here from GMBN, and today we're at Bikepark Wales for a challenge. Now, the best mountain bikers in the world are often the ones that make riding look effortless. When it comes to covering terrain fast, the best mountain bike racers are the ones that just seem to magic speed from the trail. People like Josh Bryson, Brendan Fairclough are two that really spring to mind. Of course, the very best racers need the power and the fitness to produce the watts through the cranks to get going, but the very best also produce significant speed from the trail. Firstly, with good line choice, that's essential from getting A to B in the fastest fashion, but others from the trail, and that is directly from pumping. That is producing speed by going up and down on the bike to produce forward motion. But is it as fast as just pedaling down a track? Let's find out. The trail I rode at Bikepark Wales is Blackadder from the top to Willywaver. The short fire road section in the middle was disregarded from the times because it's flat and I had to pedal on both runs. It's 2.2 kilometres long with 220 metres of descending. Okay, first run with the pedalling. There's definitely a bit of cranking out the gate, and then, whoa, you go straight in. Some quite big jumps actually where there isn't much space to pedal anyway. Decent sized gap there. It's a fun trail. Top of this bit, so good. Try to keep those low and pump. Right, crank it. A little bit more, it's quite fast in these woods as well. Whoa, oh, I overshot that a bit. Right, wheelied over those. Try and make as much speed as possible into the dark woods. I only managed one pedal there. Back onto the cranks. So, just flatten out a little bit here, but there are a lot of rollers. So it'll be interesting to see if I can pump it as fast as I can pedal it. It's definitely quite a sprint, but it's actually quite tiring. Try to ride as quick. Again, flatten a little bit, cranked it just a touch, braking and pedaling.
Now to run two, concentrating on pumping. Let's get all zen and use the lie of the land to the best ability of flowing and bombing down the trail.
Right, time to run two. A couple of cranks out at the start so I can actually get moving. And can I clear this still? Yep. Right, I'm really gonna have to work hard on my pumping to clear these top jumps. Not helped by a little case. Here we go. Low, pump. Whoa. That feels pretty good actually. Can I clear this? Oh, I had to pull quite hard then to clear that, which means I'm definitely going slower. Tell you what, it'll be interesting to see what my heart rate says at the end. Will I be working less, not pedaling, or more, trying to pump really hard? feels like you have to read the terrain a bit better, because I don't want to rely on pedalling for getting back up speed. So we need to rail the corners and pump everything as hard as possible. We'll see, because in a minute I've got a big gap of doom I'm slightly worried about. There's one. This is the big one. Ooh, made it. Whoa, pull. Oh. Whoa, I have to pull hard that time to clear those. Back into smooth stuff. I'll have to pump everything. Feels pretty good so far. Whoa. Whoa. I love that bit. So fast. Feels quite quick. I'm still getting out of breath though. Right, carry speed. I would normally pedal there. And here. So now it feels like I'm slowing down. And I've got a flat section. Pump. A couple of little hops there as well. Just over those rocky edges, so they don't slow me down as much when I hit them. No, it's slow. So, pump, pump. At least a couple of good ones to get going again. Try to pump around the berm as well. Ooh, I tried to come out of that off my brakes early. Worked quite well. Almost there. Heart rate is definitely lower, or at least it feels it.
To the scores, well, actually, surprisingly, I was faster on the run that I was pumping, so no pedal at all, even though in some sections it was quite flat. It was super close. On the pumping run, I did a 4 minutes 13.3, pedaling 4 minutes 13.4, so 1/10 of a second in it. Really close, and actually, and it does reflect that feeling of it being easier pumping, because my heart rate, max heart rate was 172 compared to 177 on pedaling, which is getting right up there for me. My max is about 182-ish, so that's as high as I get really. Same with the average heart rate was slightly less for the pumping run, so 164 compared to 165. Max speed was faster pumping, believe it or not, 45.7 km/h compared to 42.3, so actually quite a lot faster. Why is that? Well, I think personally, where I've done races where I've snapped a chain or something like that, you're really concentrating on the trail. You start really focusing, not on just going fast and pedaling everywhere. You've got to use your trail to your best ability to go fast, and that's what it felt like when I was riding. So it was less work, it was easier to ride fast because my heart rate wasn't as high, possibly having a bit more fun, and I was faster. What is a bit of a spanner in the works, on Garmin, using the mountain bike dynamics, they can measure your flow. So the less fluctuations in your speed, the smoother you're riding, the lower your score. And on my pedaling run, I got a score of 5.1, but on the pumping run, I got a score of 6.0. So the Garmin flow score is worse for my pumping run, which is interesting to know. Who knows about that? Of course, I could have done the pumping run chainless, but I decided not to do that because it's slightly unrealistic, because that's, obviously we've seen people do that, like Gwin, they've done really well with it. But we've also done a video on this because it actually really affects how well your suspension works if your chain isn't on there. So I wanted to keep it fairly equal terms for that, keep my chain on, just rely on pumping like I might want to do if I didn't want to pedal. So there you go. Pumping can be faster than pedaling, and in my opinion, a bit more fun. Thanks for watching. Leave me your comments down below. What do you think about the results? Is it a bit surprising that you can go faster pumping? I think I need to do a bit more experimenting with this. If you want to see a video on how to ride and get more flow, over there for that one. If you want to see our chainless challenge from a few years back, over there for that, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button.